Well, Duke Nukem 3D is on the back burner for a while because I just remembered that I wanted to make this video where I talk about id Software's downfall. Now, for the gameplay, yes, it's another Map 16 Suburbs gameplay, but I really consider this level to be one of the funnest ones in Doom 2, and I think it's really good that I use this video for my commentary because it's really fun to watch. Also, this route I was using took me 5 hours of attempts to really make that Archvile do what I wanted him to do. So yeah, that's just some fun fact there. I also got another route that I implemented once that one is done. So the video is just different routes for this map. Unless I don't have enough gameplay footage, I will add a couple of more gameplay footage to make this commentary complete. id Software, oh man, these guys were unstoppable back in the early to mid 90s. I'm not even gonna go, into details why, because you should already know. But once the 90s were all about to be gone, they really started to decline. I am no stranger of the whole id Software used to be great, now they're not so great anymore belief. I personally thought Quake 3 was really starting to show indication where id was really starting to lose their game. Like, look at Unreal Tournament 99. It had more maps. It was more of a refreshing arena style shooter overall compared to Quake 3 Arena. Even though I love Quake 3 Arena and I prefer the game over UT99, Q3A was pretty much a lot of the old school deathmatch gameplay you've seen before, but with just a couple of adjustments. Then there's Return to Castle Wolfenstein. I never really enjoyed the multiplayer that much, but I did like the single player portion, and all I gotta say was it was fun, but it's really lacking a lot of inspiring ideas. It's essentially your standard solid run and gun first person shooter, nothing much else. Like, I played Halo 1, and that game was around Return to Castle Wolfenstein release date, and Halo 1 was just amazing because it constantly through so many cool set pieces, interesting combat encounters, and the gameplay itself was refreshing and familiar at the same time, which Return to Castle Wolfenstein, it didn't really do any of that, and I really felt like it's just another, id Software game that I've already played before, but it just has a couple of different adjustments to it. A lot of id Software games are very similar to each other. They all have a similar mentality. Go in there, kill everything you see, and survive. Even Doom 3 was a victim to that philosophy, and it was a little better than Return to Castle Wolfenstein, but not much at the end of the day. I really thought Rage did a great job at breaking free from the whole spree where id pretty much just stayed true to the formula they're known for. I really liked the whole sandbox the game had. It really did feel like id was trying to reinvent themselves and be true to what they used to be at the same time. But then again, Rage's biggest problem was the gameplay design, and also suffered the same fate of Return to Castle Wolfenstein and Doom 3, but took a couple more steps downward. I personally think id needs to take the same way what they did with Rage, reinventing themselves but also stay true to what they're known for, but this time set their standards higher within the game. Like, if you look at Doom 1's intense levels compared to Doom 2's, Doom 1's levels just couldn't compete because Doom 2 set the standards so high with its monster count, faster pacing, and being more action driven overall. Also, having more interesting encounters can also help. I can't believe most people don't talk about fighting segments in first person shooters because they are really important, since FPSs are primarily about the shooting, really. You look at Map 7 from Doom 2, that was a really cool set piece, and the way you fight the Mankabai and Arachnotrons were just beautifully executed. Then you have Map 8, and at this point, I was really starting to feel Doom 2 was getting more action-driven, judging from all the last maps I've played, and this one kind of breaks that aspect a bit. First of all, it's like a theme of a trap. You see one dude, you shoot him, now you wake up a bunch of cacodemons, and every door offers something differently and new, but still being action-packed, which is the identity of Doom 2. Or in Halo 1, the 6th level where they introduce you the Flood. That was so memorable because I always believed that manuals would tell you everything in the entire game, at least for FPSs, but I was starting to get a little creeped out because the game was indicating a more darker mood than what I felt in the last levels I've played. You get to fight a bunch of Flood, and oh my god, they throw in so many of them at you, but there's a lot of targets to shoot at, so there's a pro right there. This very moment really changes your mentality against the Flood compared to the Covenant, and it also gives you a portrait of what the future fights with the Flood will be like. I haven't given up on id Software mainly because I know these guys can still do it. I mean, they have a strong list of games they've made. Not every of them is a masterpiece, but nobody's perfect, and I still enjoy their games too. So it's all good at the end of the day. I really owe it to these guys for making me a FPS junkie I am today, so I don't think I can ever give up on them. However, since I am a fan, I will always try to be fair and give constructive criticism if I have to, because I really do care deep down inside. I want Doom 4 to be a solid game, same thing for Quake 5, Rage 2, or whatever new id Software game they're making. I mean, id Software has been doing some things right. The ports for Doom 1 and 2 for Xbox 360 have been fine. No Rest for the Living was solid. Rage Scorchers DLC was also solid too. I really think id Software is still doing okay in some gaming related parts. I don't really have anything to be afraid of, really. To end this video, I didn't get into Wolfenstein, Doom, or Quake because of their mods, the community, or user-generated maps. I got into them because I knew id Software was a great developer after playing Doom 1 and 2. And I knew these games were going to be great because of those two games. They really impacted me and really made me feel like these guys are pretty much the greatest developer that I've ever seen in my life.